And now I ask, the chair is Florence Lei, so also the coordinator of the Sustainability Lab, the Sustainable Business Lab of the Faculty of Business and Law of University of St. Joseph. Thanks. Florence. And then we have Dean Jenny Phillips, the Dean of the Faculty of Business and Law. And we have CY Law from CY, SY, yes, from managing director of MSS recruitment firm. So,
and we also have Father Rothlin joining us.
Thank you. And let me also warmly welcome us. We have about 30 people joining us online. Feel also warmly welcome. And you don't have to wait until the bloody end. Do not hesitate to drop your critical comments in the chat room. Thank you.
Thank you, Father Rothlin. First of all, I need to correct Father Rothlin a little bit. I didn't found the Sustainable Business Lab. Actually, my dean founded the Sustainable Business Series before the lab. It consisted of public lectures, seminars, certified courses, all related to sustainability. And our Sustainable Business Series now is officially upgraded to the Sustainable Business Lab, and I'm the coordinator of this lab. So thank you, Father, for inviting me to be the chair. And thank you, Mr. Marco New, aka the Monster, for sharing these wonderful stories of Europeans in Hong Kong. I'm very touched, and this topic speaks dearly to my heart because I myself am divided between Macau and Hong Kong. Spend half my week in Hong Kong, half my week in Macau. Now actually the next part of this symposium is actually a podium discussion in which we focus on both Macau and Hong Kong. We focus on the Deignan Award for Responsible Entrepreneurship. We also abbreviate it as DARE, DARE, okay? Yeah, DARE, right? DARE Award, which include mainly small and medium-sized enterprises that did excellent jobs in aspects of consumers, employees, community, and also the environment. And joining us today, we also have a winner of the DARE Award, SY, first winner. We have 2 rounds already. We had one round in 2023, another round recently concluded in 2025. So based on this award, we want to explore further topics of corporate social responsibility, responsible entrepreneurship, especially the key challenges driven by this market environment. Is like what Father Rothlin said earlier. You know, these ideals of honesty, integrity, are they just lip service? Are they reality? Are they practical, right? So my first question is actually for SY. So from your vantage point in recruitment, you see the direct impact of corporate culture on individuals. Where do you see this biggest setback, okay, or tension when companies try to prioritize honesty, integrity against the pressure of meeting aggressive quarterly targets, especially we're talking about talent acquisition, retention these days?
Well, first, let me say good evening to all of you here physically with us, and to those online as well. Good evening, and thanks for spending time with us. I'm not sure if I'm in the best position to share this, but I'll just share from my perspective, working in the region in a few markets with listed companies, SMEs, as well as conglomerates in the market as well. So basically, I believe companies know that integrity and honesty, good values, are good business. It quickly built trust in a business environment. It quickly builds enhanced positive relationships with people. It brings a lot of positive outcome with the stakeholders. And I think the challenges mostly for most companies or entrepreneurs are how do you actually how do you integrate these values into the corporate framework? That actually values are alive, values are not just lip service. I think that's the biggest challenge companies face.
Yes, I agree, right? These days we also talk about not just one bottom line, but
Right.
triple bottom lines. So when companies have, for example, have CSR program, they also want to have impacts on society, which we call social value.
Right.
Also environmental value, so triple bottom lines. Now, can you also share with us examples of progress, not just setbacks, right? We also want to look at the bright side. Progress that you have witnessed, perhaps a company that has been recognized for its integrity or has become what we call a talent magnet. How can the Deignan Award be leveraged as a tangible business advantage in a war for talent?
Definitely there are benefits after winning or being recognized by the Deignan Award, but have we optimized the benefits? Probably no. And what are the reasons for it? Probably I'll share subsequently. So some of the clear benefits that we have enjoyed came from various aspects. Companies that we service, we work with the casinos and the hotels in Macau. And when they know that we have sustainability program, we have charity activities, they actually ask for presentation from us so that we could be differentiated from other suppliers. And that could further support their preference to use us in more businesses. They actually ask us for proof of what we have done. They want to know more. They are interested to know more because companies with good reputation align with their position and standing in the market as well. So in that extent, in a business sense, yes, definitely it works well for us. And then when we established our charity, subsequently after winning the award, we got it set up this June. And we went about to set up the bank account. And when the CEO of the bank knew we're coming in to do good stuff and we're recognized for it, it did pave an easier way for us as well. It was easy. You still have to follow the procedures, but I think, as I said, it established quick trust. With the colleagues itself, we have incidences where applicants come for and our employees were actually really happy working in the company. They were the best spokesperson rather than the HR trying to just sell the company, how good it is, how politics free, how people are happy working here, because there's a lot of trust and respect within the environment. Many of the various, because for most of the interviews, they go through a few rounds with different levels of employees, and you have the employees coming in to actually substantiate that claim. It's very different versus just having HR coming in to sell the company, because these are employees who are working here since they graduate till the day they got married or they have kids, and they've been with our company for a long time, and they see what we have done, and they're able to be the best testimony to that experience within the company. And just recently, we had a staff. She lost her mom, so she was maybe in her 20s. Of course, she's sad, right? I mean, she lost her mom, and she messaged me on the site for a number of times, telling me how she planned to get over this grief. She was actually saying that she's learning from our examples, where we actually put a lot of time and effort to care for others. And she believed that's the right path for her to get over her grief quickly. And I was really surprised because we have many employees. So I don't really have much experience interacting with, she's really junior. So she actually came direct to me and shared that with me. And I thought that was very encouraging to know that the employees are actually watching what you're doing. Not just a PR statement that haven't put out. Of course we put out PR on what we do, but not in a big way, but just internally within the company. So staff do take note, and staff actually feel a sense of belonging and pride, and they learn from these actions that the owners undertake as well.
Okay.
So that's a big encouragement to us.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, SY. SY shared about very important recognition, I couldn't help it because several hours ago, I went to a talk on green finance, and one of the experts is ESG expert in Hong Kong and Macau. And he talked about these accreditation. So before any company can get any green funding, they first of all need to be certified for really having E, environment, social, S, governance, impacts. So, and actually, speaking of SMEs, like the supply chain, like you mentioned, not just, of course, the listed companies, they need to have ESG reports, but also their supply chain, right? Could be SMEs, also need to provide the data. So I think that kind of maybe transparent data is necessary, and very happy that you share with us about your employee, sharing with us, and that's evidence of you're doing great leadership there. And I couldn't ring the bell, help ringing a bell, because we're going to have industry roundtable on Wednesday, talking about well-being, employee well-being in hospitality industry. So I think that's employee, right, is one of the very important aspect of CSR. Okay, thank you, SY. Now we switch over to Dean Jenny. So Jenny, so our business students, we know they're going to graduate soon. Actually, they are facing a not a very easy labor market right now. Earlier, Father Rothlin also shared how the Gini index is 0.58, right? So, and also Mark also shared about how the competition is really fierce in Macau, in Hong Kong. So how facing this kind of environment, what would you suggest, how they still, carry on these values of honesty, integrity as they enter the workforce? How is the curriculum that we have in USJ a solution, or maybe to part of the problem?
Okay, thank you, Florence. And just by the way, just now, when Florence mentioned about our industry discussion next Wednesday, we are inviting everyone to come join us. It will be at 7 p.m. at Artisan Grand Lapa. Okay, so just a little bit of a promotion of the upcoming event. And actually, I would like to also follow up on, my answer actually follows up on what SY shared earlier, that the employees, the behavior and attitude of the employees are the best for people to know what exactly your organization is doing. It's not just lip service, it's not just promotion, it's not just, doing charity, taking photos everywhere, but the employees are the one who actually feels it. And so what I see here is that in terms of from the education perspective, for many years, when I talk with people from the industry, banks, organizations, the hospitality industry, casinos everywhere, what they look for in graduates, they always tell me is attitude. They don't really care how high the GPA is for these students. It's more what they look at is attitude, and I'm actually quite happy that I have received feedback from some employers that they like our students because they like their attitude of their work responsibility, their willingness to contribute. And I think this is something that is embedded in our in our university. I think it's embedded in the mission and values of our university as a Catholic university. I cannot answer for other faculty, but for our faculty, as Florence would know, and Father Rothlin also, who's our emeritus professor, we invite you to be our visiting professor as well, and we will have the whole panel of our faculty. But I think everyone in our faculty shares this value of business, responsible business. This is actually in our mission and our vision of our university to train leaders are creative, entrepreneurial, and socially responsible leaders. So this is not about what we teach. Of course, we have specific courses in philosophy of ethics course, and then we also have business ethics course, but these courses are theoretical. What we have been trying to develop in our students is that we embedded all these values of responsibility, of looking at business not as a profit-making machine, but as a social unit. Each business solves a solution. Like what I always tell my students, if you do not solve a social solution, you do not contribute to the university, you have no business. So even a noodle shop, it solved the very issue of hunger for people who do not always cook and need a quick meal. So every business serves a social solution, and we should view business from this perspective that but of course, when we talk about sustainability, financial sustainability is also important. So we cannot just do good and not make money. Making money is also important because you need to be responsible to your employees. You need to pay salary. You need to be able to pay your suppliers, pay rent. So we need to learn how to make the money to sustain the business, but also the values that is embedded into many different courses that we taught have the value of honesty and integrity, as Florence mentioned, being responsible to the society, and most importantly, what we try to teach is equality among people. And I think this is something that is achieved at the whole university level because our students are used to working with people from different backgrounds, different culture. So this could nurture them into someone who would treat people equally. And I think all this honesty in equality, everything comes from the basic value of treating people equally. I mean, what is the most important teaching we get from Jesus, right? Love one another. And I think once this is done, of course, we cannot officially teach that in my entrepreneurship or my marketing class, love one another, but we embed this in our teaching. And I believe Florence is also embedded values of responsibility in her she teach the more difficult economics class, but this we try to input into our teaching. So I believe that education, in a way, it's not really the curriculum, what we teach in the class, but the values, how we embed all these values into what we teach. Whether we are teaching accounting, finance, economics, marketing, entrepreneurship, how we try to get the students to look at the values that the business can provide for the society. And whether this would create a problem or not, this I do not know. Maybe, who knows, maybe in one day we will be known for the university that train entrepreneurs that lost money because they focus too much on doing good and instead of making money. But yeah, as what I see is important in education, especially you're asking me about business, right? So it's about not teaching just the business knowledge and theory, but about how we embed the values into what we are teaching.
Okay, so first of all, thank you, Jenny, for sharing the core value of our lab, which is business as a social solution, very core of our lab. And also, you heard both SY and Jenny share about values, right? Not just, well, I'm an economist. Of course, I usually look at profit maximization, economic value. But also, we know as a Catholic university, social value, very important. And for example, we put together ESG, we also look at environmental value. So let's switch topic from, of course, one of the most important tasks is teaching. Another important task would be research. So we are also writing, case studies of our Diamond Award awardees. So when we try to quantify the values, the impacts that they have on our society, what are the challenges, or maybe analytical tools? How do we, actually, even if they don't make money, I'm sure their social balance sheet is actually credit, right? But how do we measure that, right? And how difficult it is?
Okay, this is a very challenging question. Would you give me 3 months to research on it before I can answer you? But off the top of my head, a lot of things cannot be measured. Like we always say, triple bottom line, right? Finances, economics, that we have numbers that we can calculate. But a lot of things, social impacts, for example, governance, these cannot be quantified. But actually, there are some matrix that have been created, like I have to share from the beginning of the experience of when we started the Declan Award in the beginning. We need to come up with a way of how we should grade how we should grade each of the participants, because we need to give a grade, right? Everyone have done many things. So there is actually a certain metrics created for measuring CSR in different areas of humanities work, environmental contribution. So with cutting down with the different contribution, but this is more on corporate social responsibility. But if we really have to measure a corporation, like if we look at a large corporation and we have to measure what their social impact, it's easy to measure what they do, but how we measure the impact, I think this is something that research needs to come in, because what the impact an organization creates may not be all known to the organization themselves, but the people they actually affected. So, and this impact, I think it could be seen by, for example, projects that keeps going on and redoing, and then we can see the number of people participating, number of people benefiting. That is a quantifiable way to see the social impact of it. So one example I would like to share. MSS is here, so I'm not sharing MSS case. No. For example, I think you might know CESL Asia, Cell Asia company, that just last Saturday, they have an Olympics Day. So they have been doing this for 10 years. They work together with the Special Olympics. Every year they invite people from different organizations to have sports and games with the service provider and receiver of Special Olympics. And over 10 years, if we observe the number of people, the number of increasing sponsors, the number of increasing people that are joining that, and then we have to match the number of the participants from the Special Olympics, and also and how it affected their parents. So this we can see, like one action, how much impact it can have in the society and how wide it could go. So I think there is a measurable way, but it would demand the application of the network theory, and rather than a financial calculation to measure the impact of organizations' responsible actions and projects. And like what SY shared earlier in MSS, the internal impact could already be seen by the employees and to what level they are affected. It's not just that they are happy, but to the level that when they face problems themselves, they would go to the boss because of how much they have learned from the company. And I believe this is something that have changed people, and this is an impact that is hard to use numbers to measure, but we could use the network way of creating the spider web to measure the social impact.
I don't know about what you were saying, some network measurement or something. Yeah. So I'm right. So definitely I'm not well versed in this, but just on a very layman terms, we do measure the social initiatives that we take up, because prior to deciding what social initiative we want to embark upon, we do measure what is the cost involved and the benefits involved. So we'll say like, look, if I build a water pump in this village, how many families actually benefited, the cost of building this, and the indirect impact as well, we take it into consideration. So we do have a maybe like a commercial perspective to the social initiatives. And internally, I think a very good measurement of how this impact the organization would be the retention of the staff, the staff satisfaction working within the organization, which you could easily get in a 360 appraisal every year that you do. We even have a clause, a question inside which measures on the honesty and integrity of the staff, where they will review themselves, and then the superior will review as well, and let's look at what the gap is or it's aligned, and then there'll be a dialogue session, ideally between both to align on this as well. So we try to establish metrics so that it's more tangible in that sense. And yep.
May I also share a rather surprising success story when it was with a campaign for better labor conditions. And this NGO I cooperated were very unsure if this would be successful, because they investigated different computer firms about their labor conditions. And it was quite clear all these computer firms abused labor force. So they gave the consumers a chance to contact the firms, also their CEOs, and say, so I'm really disappointed to hear, if this is true, that you, the Acer, Hongji, or others have abused. And to the big surprise, it was very successful, because when they asked the CEO, he did not say anything. So this is very embarrassing, see? So, and this had over the years had quite a profound impact, because the most recent example, I think you are all aware, is BYD. BYD, even on top of Tesla, was accused and had documentation abusing labor force in Brazil. So you cannot say, no, it's cheaper to produce the debt to abuse labor force. So I think there is a certain progress where you see clearly an impact. You cannot say now we have lower prices, and so where this kind of campaigns have a quite surprising impact.
So I think this is a great topic to explore. All of our speakers share. Maybe I can add a little bit to the environmental side as well. First of all, ESG had a lot of indicators. So when, in the reporting, actually, kind of like auditing, right? Accounting, you have to check off all the indicators. Also, I myself did some research collaborating with our environmental science colleagues as well. On the environmental side, for example, there are many methods. We call those valuation of ecosystem services. You can, for example, look at how far mangrove is to your house and whether that affect your housing price. That's already one way to quantify. So actually, we have no excuse as researchers. We have to use all the methods to analyze. Yes, many. Okay, so maybe last question for Jenny. Recently, there are, I don't know if you guys know, there are more than one USJs in the world. Besides USJ Macau, we also have USJ Beirut in Lebanon. And we're exploring a project enhancing hunger and value-driven humanitarian interventions in Lebanon crisis. So even though it's just a preliminary stage, I would like to maybe also Father Rothlin will share more because he's in touch with USJ Beirut earlier than us. But maybe a question to Jenny is, how do you think the talents or maybe the skill set in our faculty will be able to build a roadmap for this kind of collaboration project? So focusing mainly on poverty and hunger.
And actually, poverty and hunger, no poverty and no hunger are the harder SDGs to achieve in Macau, because the poverty level is very low and there is no hunger in Macau, but there are a lot around the world. I think rather than what we can offer, I would look at what we can learn from this situation. I think it could help open up our knowledge to the situation of poverty that is happening in Lebanon, in the Beirut University that they are doing. And from our perspective, we have what we can offer here, and not just our faculty, I mean our university or in Macau. What we can offer are examples of development, because poverty, a lot of countries facing poverty are solved by social enterprises, like Egypt, SECOM in Egypt, Grameen Bank in Bangladesh. So I think we can, we have also some research on social enterprises. I think one thing we can contribute would be to, well, we're not the expert in Macau. There is no social enterprise expert in Macau because it's still something that is quite young in Macau. But I think what we can work together with USJ Beirut is to look at the situation of the hunger and poverty level, and then to understand the whole supply chain and the food delivery and development, and then to look at the possibility of establishing social enterprises there to solve this social issue. Because in the end, there's a Chinese saying, 授人以鱼，不如授人以漁. So the best way is to train them. The best way is to analyze the situation, and then to see how we can collaborate with them to enhance education in entrepreneurship, and then to have them start developing their own economic and develop their younger generation to be able to solve this issue. But that would probably need more partners than just universities in Macau, because in Macau, we are not too much, we don't have too much expertise as that. But I would see that this is something that would call for a larger collaboration with other countries and other Catholic universities. There is also USJ in America. And there are lots of Catholic universities around the world that we are members of. So I would see that we can, because USJ is also the vice president of the International Federation of Catholic Universities, and our half owner Católica Portugal is the president. So I can see that one thing we could at a higher level, we can try to arrange a larger scale of a network research and practical research exploration to solve this issue, not just in Beirut, but in other underdeveloped countries as well, through the network of universities from countries that have more experience.
Thank you, Jenny. I 100% agree with you. I think our Sustainable Business Lab can also explore research, maybe focusing on social enterprises. As far as I know, they mainly study charitable projects so far, not social enterprises. So maybe we can contribute our know-how. Stay tuned. Maybe we can. We're talking about sentiment analysis. Exactly like what Jenny said. Actually, the donor is actually happier than the receiver. You can check, whether there's positive sentiment or negative sentiment. So interesting analysis like this. Now we move to Father Rothlin. So speaking of the award, the Deignan Award, which is named after Father Alfred-Deignan, grounding it in a rich ethical tradition. Now, in this kind of market situation, how do we move beyond integrity as just a so-called compliance checkbox and restore the fundamental moral compass for leadership? Especially the Deignan Award is called the Deignan Award for Responsible Entrepreneurship, right? So entrepreneurship, leadership, how do we look at these?
First of all, we should, of course, never underestimate the importance of compliance. So that is the bottom line. But I think what we want with the Deignan Award is moving beyond. And we have this term of Rushang, the Confucian entrepreneurship, that we infuse, like the students, with values of honesty, integrity, and give also examples. So in the teaching, I found case studies are extremely important. And also, I think we underestimate the potential of Catholic schools. We say, how can we rival Harvard with research? See, of course not. But even in terms of a network that you have, for instance, USJ Beirut, Macau, I think we have an enormous potential which is not yet used. My personal experience is when I take students to India, say Mumbai or Bihar, the poorest place, that was always the most inspiring experience. Even the laziest students say, I have to do something to react, to find solutions. So I found that kind of challenging students, but also I found we have maybe very gifted business students that they use their potential to help people. So I think the spirit of solidarity, or I recall a French Jesuit, André Mas, who was killed in his kind of drive to help people, bring people together. So I think to infuse the spirit of entrepreneurship and Confucian entrepreneurship, I think this is something what we want to promote with each other.
Thank you, Father Rothlin. What we call a setback is usually a crisis in character. How can organizations move beyond just writing a value statement and actually cultivate virtues of honesty and integrity within their teams, creating what you might call a community of conscience?
So I can share the example, because it's public, of BASF had a very serious crisis. They had a scandal of price fixing, and it is maybe sad to observe, but usually it's through a crisis you really start to move seriously. So I think this is an example just that we should see a crisis, and also for me, the crisis of this enormous wealth gap is a crisis we have to face in order to find solutions and inspiring another to create solutions. And I thought also over the years, we create a network of like-minded people. Because especially in Asia, if you are alone fighting, you never have success. But I think if you find I have other people, they support me in my commitment, I think that's something which is very important. And we have, for instance, conferences on Confucian entrepreneurship. You have 2,000 or 3,000 people. So I now work with this AI Applied Ethics Network with the World Ethics Institute of Peking University. I think this could be also a driver to bring together like-minded people.
Okay, thank you. thank you for sharing with us your focus on ethics and also like a very hot topic, AI ethics. Like I said, the project in Lebanon, Professor Ziad is also a AI user, right? In his user in his research and analysis. Like I said, mentioned, sentiment analysis is one of those. But first of all, Father Rothlin, can you share a bit more about this project in Lebanon, especially because you focus more on the ethical principles drawn from Confucius, Christian, humanistic perspective that guide our partner NGOs to ensure that the help is not just transactional, but truly affirm the dignity and agency of helping the people they serve.
Yes, I think even some of here shared this trip to Lebanon. I think we were deeply kind of inspired to see. I expect the people very depressed. Now you have a complete economic chaos, crisis, but we felt very impressed how proactive people were. And so we thought we have to follow up on this, but on a long-term basis, because it's no way to fix that in a few months, of course not. But I think also through a very interesting multicultural element. Since Lebanon is the only country where Muslims and Christians celebrate together a national feast day. 25th of March is a national feast day, announced Nation of Mary. Muslims and Christians celebrate together. So it's also on this kind of intercultural learning a great way that we can learn. And we have also, through different books of case study books, we're also grateful to you that we collaborate on this, promoted a very simple, but I think meaningful 3 steps analysis. See, because there's so much fake news, how we can really come up with a solid social analysis. It's already a great challenge. But then also what we often lack, the courage to say in judging, we have certain values and also explicitly which are these values of integrity, truthfulness, also being autocritical. And from there to look what we really can do, because as an Indian Jesuit who lived many years among the poor, we should not say we are helpless and we can do nothing, but the punchline, Zhongdian, is action. So these 3 steps, where also with the case studies, we really pitch at a transformation. And I feel very grateful how, for instance, this also dialogue is between Beirut and Macau. And also, I think certainly the enthusiasm of people, I was moved last time when I want to share also, these people move into a very dangerous region. See, so southern Lebanon, there's bombardments. And so also for this, for us, we have to deal with not so, I think, urgent problems is a great inspiration to see our colleagues there.
So thank you, Father Rothlin, especially share about how to really focus on the action, right? Rather than just donation, okay? Not merely transactional. So I think with the discussion, which was deeply insightful, we went from recruitment to leadership, from education to system change. We covered every aspect of Deignan Award, its values, its ethics, philosophy. So let us be reminded, okay, not just think about the setbacks that we're facing right now, but also we build a roadmap together, being committed to implement honesty and integrity. So these values are not just ethical, but essential for sustainable success. So thank you very much. We would like to leave some time for the audience for Q&A.